Gunmen invade Kogi University, abduct students. Rescue Chibok girl, 3 children released to Borno government. ASU rejects wage award, insists on negotiated salary for members. On the international scene, Chad's military ruler declared winner of presidential election as opposition disputes results. A very good day and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. We'll go to details now, where the identified hoodlums suspected to be bandits reportedly stormed the Kogi State Confluence University of Science and Technology, OSARA, and abducted unspecified number of students. The report from the area said that the incident happened around 9 p.m. on Thursday as students were in the lecture rooms preparing for their semester examinations. Local vigilantes were said to have been mobilized to the area but could not withstand the firepower of the hoodlums. Kogi State Police Command is yet to comment on the incident. The Nigerian Army on Thursday handed over Lydia Simon, the rescued Chibok schoolgirl, and her 3 children to the Borno State government for reunification with her family. The theater commander, Northeast Joint Task Force Operation Hadin-K, Major General Waidi Shaibu, disclosed this during the handing over ceremony at the Memalari cantonment on Thursday in Maiduguri. He said that troops of the 82 Division Task Force Battalion rescued the lady carrying a 6-month-old pregnancy alongside her three children on Wednesday, April 17, in the Goza local government area of the state. Shaibu said she was number 18 among the girls who were rescued by the Nigerian military. Still staying with security, the Nasarawa State Police Command has arrested 33 suspects over alleged kidnapping, armed robbery, cattle rustling, and other sundry crimes in different parts of the state. State Commissioner of Police Umar Nadada made this known while parading the suspects before journalists in Lafia. Trust TV's Abubakar Abdullahi sent in this report as presented from our studio.
Parading the suspects, the State Commissioner of Police, Nadada, said among those arrested are the kidnappers terrorizing Federal University Lafia community, where several number of students and other residents of the area were abducted. He said the same suspects confessed to have carried out kidnappings at Rukubi, Gandu, Kadarko, and Agayaragu area of the state.
Information was received that 4 individuals were kidnapped at Rukubi, and the Command's anti-kidnapping unit were deployed to go after the suspects and rescue the victims. Following the successful operation and rescue of the victims, while conveying them to Rukubi town, the victims cited one of the captors by name Shagari Ibrahim of Kadarko, Kiana local government, and he was immediately arrested. Often interrogation, the suspect confessed to the commission of the crime and further claimed responsibility for the abduction of some students of Federal University of Lafia at Confidence Hotel, Makodi Road, Lafia.
He stated that a raid by the command led to the arrest of suspected armed robbers and recovery of stolen items from the suspects.
The suspected armed robbers attacking residents of Zamani Estate, Mararaba local government area, and dispossessed them of mobile phones, ATM cards, and other valuables. Reacting to the ugly development, police operatives based on actionable intelligence discovered the hideout of the criminals and raided the place, where one Abubakar Ahmed of Kano State was arrested while others escaped. A thorough search led to the recovery of 2 cell phones and ATM cards belonging to the victims.
The commissioner also said 5 rapists, 3 fake army personnel, and 2 fake staff of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission were arrested. The command noted that arms and ammunition, vehicles, and 1.3 million naira cash were recovered from the suspects. The Commissioner of Police vowed that the fight against criminals is continuous, urging the public to sustain collaboration with security agencies to guarantee a safer and more secured Nasarawa and the country as a whole. One of the suspects arrested for parading himself as a colonel in the Nigeria Army, however, claimed that he is not using it to carry out illegal activities.
No, I'm the one imposing, sir.
Imposing what?
As a colonel, sir. And they call me as a nickname.
Sir?
They call it as a nickname to me, sir.
Who called it as a nickname?
That is where people call me as colonel. Is a nickname.
Then what happened?
I was arrested and they said I should identify myself to bring any identification as a colonel. Okay. When I was trying to explain things to the lieutenant colonel,
the suspects are expected to face prosecution after investigations are concluded.
And to stories from the National Assembly, the Nigerian Senate has approved the death sentence as penalty for drug traffickers in the country. This follows the passing of the 2024 NDLEA Act Amendment Bill after its third reading. Trust TV brings us this and more from the Senate's plenary this Thursday.
While reviewing the penalty provisions of the amendment bill towards strengthening the operations of the agency, a proposed amendment to award a death sentence to drug traffickers rather than just a life sentence was raised by the Senate Chief Whip Ali Gunmen, which sparked debate among senators, with some saying the bill may have been speedily passed.
I am surprised that the committee is recommending a softer punishment. It was a life imprisonment. In fact, we should change it to death sentence. This is practiced everywhere in this country that are serious about dealing with drugs.
We must be honest, transparent in the decision. I am accountable to my conscience and to my community. Death sentence is not a matter for a, nay or nay. Everybody should vote so that we will be counted. When it matters, those who vote for death and those who vote for punishment.
I feel dissatisfied. What you need to ask for, which is your right, is to ask for a division. And so you put forth, but you didn't do that.
The bill was subsequently read for the third time and passed by the Senate. Also, a bill for an act to upwardly review salaries, allowances, and other benefits of judiciary workers passed second reading in the Senate. The bill proposes to address the prolonged stagnation in their remuneration to reflect the current socio-economic realities. It got wide support, but some lawmakers argued for equity.
It intends to unify the salary structure as well as allowances and fringe benefits for judicial office holders, both in federal and state level. This proposed legal framework undoubtedly will bring about significant improvement in the welfare, capacity, and independence of judiciary.
No right-thinking Nigeria will not think that it's good to keep the judiciary comfortable, especially those in the states. Because when you go to the states and see judiciary officers jumping in Okada and Keke, you will cry for the nation.
So, because lawmaking shouldn't be every day, the issue of salary administration need not be brought to the parliament for debate. So once we fix it, we then have a clause that says, provided that every year, within that law there should be a provision of appropriate organs to review, take into account the rate of inflation, and adjust the wages of both the Chief Justice of the Federation, all the judges that are covered by this act.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, after deliberations, referred the bill to the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters to revert in 4 weeks for further legislative function.
A bill for an act to prescribe the salaries, allowances and fringe benefits of judicial office holders in Nigeria and for related matters 2024. Second reading taken. This bill is now committed to the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters to report back to the Senate in 4 weeks.
The Nigerian Senate has also approved the sum of 549.6 billion naira for the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, for the 2024 fiscal year with a recurrent expenditure of 155 billion naira.
That the Senate do approve the sum of 549 billion 674 million and 311 thousand naira only as the Nigerian Communication Commission budget for the year 2024.
The Red Chamber also approved the sum of 17 billion naira for the Universal Service Provision Fund for the 2024 fiscal year.
Section 1 of the Nigerian Communication Commission Act to promote widespread availability and usage of network services and application services throughout Nigeria and to all institutions.
The Senate has approved the sum of 17 billion naira only as the budgetary estimate for 2024 of the Universal Service Provision Fund's budget.
The Universal Service Provision Fund is an agency under the Nigerian Communications Commission, saddled with the responsibility of promoting widespread availability and usage of network services.
And the House of Representatives on Thursday passed a motion directing the Central Bank of Nigeria to stop and alter the planned execution of the cybersecurity levy. The lawmakers also supported a motion to look into the operations of the Foreign Affairs Ministry missions and the contract awarding procedure for the Lagos-Calabar coastal route. These and more were part of the resolution reached at Thursday's plenary. Take a look.
Without any prior notice or sensitization, the Nigerian Central Bank recently issued a circular imposing a 0.5% cybersecurity levy on financial transactions. According to the CBN, the levy shall be applied at the point of electronic transfer origination and then deducted and remitted by the financial institution. The deducted amount shall be reflected in the customer's account with the narration cybersecurity levy. But Nigerians are asking the federal government to reconsider its policy in response to the public outcry over the issue. Like other Nigerians, the lawmakers say the proposed levy is unfortunate following the economic situation in the country. Specifically, Representative Kingsley Chinda wants the CBN to halt the process with immediate effect.
The House is concerned that CBN circular mandates all banks, other financial institutions and payment service providers to implement the Cyber Crime Act by applying the levy at the point of electronic transfer originating as cyber security levy and remitting same. The House is further concerned that the words of the CBN circular leaves the CBN directive to multiple interpretations, including that the levy be paid by bank customers, that is Nigerians, against the letter and spirit of Section 44(2)(a) of the Act.
Also at plenary, the House moved in favor of a motion to investigate the activities of the Foreign Affairs Ministry and missions following issues on visa fee, among others.
Further perturbed that the country has properties and assets across the world under various missions, many underutilized and several others abandoned, which if properly audited and enhanced well, will enhance efficiency of our foreign services and increase the revenue that is generated by the federal government.
Also on Thursday, the House moved a motion urging the Vice President, who is the chairman of the board of the NDPHC, to summon an emergency meeting of the board for the urgent resuscitation of the Bahrain power plant in order to increase the output from the national grid. The motion was moved by Representative Oboku Oforji.
Mr. Speaker, one is prompted to doubt the competence of the Niger Delta Holding Company to manage this power plant, which has the potential to be the largest power station in the nation because of the comparative advantage of over other power plants in its proximity to gas. Reaching its potential, the Bahrain power station can confidently power the whole Niger Delta region and beyond.
At Thursday's plenary also, the lawmakers accused the federal government of not following due process in the award of contract for the Lagos-Calabar Highway. The lawmakers said the 2007 Procurement Act was violated, adding that certain approvals by the National Assembly as required by the law were not given. The House is therefore asking the Ministers of Works, Finance and Attorney General and Minister of Justice to provide the National Assembly copies of the document for award of the contract.
Our Section 22(3) states that a minister shall not guarantee an external loan unless the terms and conditions of the loan shall have been laid before the National Assembly and approved by each resolution. The guarantees issued to cover the debt financing component of this project do not have the approval of this National Assembly. The House therefore resolves to call on the Honorable Minister of Works, the Honorable Minister of Finance, and the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice to ensure that all guarantees and credit enhancement instruments of the Lagos-Calabar Road project are sent to the National Assembly for approval.
The motion was referred to the Committee on Power for further legislative action. Meanwhile, plenary resumes next week, Tuesday.
This is the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. Lagos residents blame non-compliance to use pedestrian bridge on insecurity. This and of course more stories after the break. Join us again.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Thanks for staying with the news update on Trust TV. Now recap of the top stories again. Gunmen invade Kogi University, abduct students. And rescue Chibok girl, 3 children released to Borno government. And to other stories now, the federal government has announced that the Lagos-Kano narrow gauge rail line is poised to commence freight services. This revelation came to light during the visit of the Minister of Transportation, Saidu Alkali, to the project site in Kano State on Thursday. The contractors, China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, disclosed that the line had been successfully linked to the Zawachiki Dala Dry Port in Kano, a pivotal commercial center in the state. Alkali emphasized that initiating freight operations would not only prolong the lifespan of the nation's highways, but also contribute to reducing the alarming number of auto accident-related fatalities among Nigerians. And residents in Lagos State have blamed the lack of compliance to pedestrian bridges across the city on insecurity. Now, according to them, lack of illumination on the bridges makes using them risky, as users risk being attacked by hoodlums who have turned them to their abode. Dotun Omishaki sent in this report as presented from our studios.
State Commissioner of the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, had during the ministerial press briefing held Friday, May 3rd, disclosed that operatives of the Environmental Sanitation Corps, Lageski, popularly known as Sky, arrested 1,032 persons for crossing the highway without using pedestrian bridges in the last 12 months. He said the figure captures defaulters during the day, but Trust TV investigation showed that during sunrise, compliance level is high, while pedestrians throw compliance to the wind during the night, blaming their actions on the absence of light, which makes the bridge unsafe.
In a renewed step to ensure safety of lives of residents, the operatives of KAI and Lages, in line with the provisions of the Lagos State Environmental Protection Management Laws 2017, renewed the enforcement of the use of pedestrian bridges. At the last count, a total of 1,032 persons were arrested for crossing the highways and failure to use the pedestrian bridges.
While residents acknowledge that crossing the highways without the use of pedestrian bridges is dangerous, they however call on the government to restore light to affected bridges to encourage usage by residents.
The importance of bridge, it's very, very important, and it's safety for most of us in Nigeria, because there are some cars on the highway. When they are coming, some of them don't focus, like they were always distracted by so many things. That is why the use of the pedestrian bridge is very, very useful for us in Nigeria, for our own life and for our safety as well. So I urge everyone to please use the bridge for our safety. And again, I plead on behalf of all the Nigeria's youth to make sure they provide a tangible light, a good light on the streets, because there are some boys on the bridge that they normally rob due to lack of lights. So then we need them to fix the light properly and provide a good security for us in Nigeria.
Those people that are crossing, I don't know why they are crossing, because the bridge is very, very okay to, it's very, very easy to climb. So I don't know why they are crossing, because if they cross and the motor jam them, that is for them. So my advice for these people that are crossing is to not to cross again, just to be using the pedestrian. It's very, very okay. Like me now, anytime I came to Ojota, anytime I come to Ojota here, I used to climb the bridge. In fact, at times I stood on the bridge, I looked the motor that is coming here from here. In fact, because of the car, it's not necessary for government to put car on the road, because it's our safety.
Commercial Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps Major Olani Olatunbosun Cole retired, who said the agency has cleared illegal occupants identified as miscreants from bridges, however admitted there might still be a few others remaining.
And in business, the World Bank has said the federal government's 5,000 naira cash transfer scheme had little impact on household consumption and financial inclusion. The Apex Bank's financial institution revealed this in its latest report titled Better.com: Effects of Cash Transfers on Women and Households in Nigeria. According to the report, the intervention had also a limited impact on employment, especially for women. The report cited the 2016 cash transfer program when the federal government launched the National Social Safety Net project. International scene, Chad's Yontet chief Mahamat Idris Deby Itno has won this week's presidential election in the first round. Now, according to provisional official results released on Thursday, Deby extends his family's decades-long grip on power. Monday's vote aimed to end 3 years of military rule in a country crucial to the fight against jihadism across Africa's Sahel Desert region. The Ange Electoral Commission said Deby won 61.03% of votes, beating Prime Minister Success Mercer, who garnered only 18.53%, and results due to be confirmed by the Constitutional Council. In a broadcast, Deby said he is now the elected president of all Chadians and promised to make good on his campaign promises.
We as a united people owe this victory to you. The people placed us firmly in the lead from the first round, backed by verifiable counts from over 90% of the ballot boxes, validating a decisive win in the first round, a triumphant of change over the status quo of hope over the past.
And elsewhere in France, an unidentified man has been arrested for allegedly attacking a woman with a box cutter shot and seriously wounded 2 officers in a Paris police station on Thursday after grabbing one of their weapons. Reports said the incident happened in the French capital's 13th district shortly before 10:30 p.m. and that one of the officers' wounds was life-threatening. Paris Police Chief Laurent Nunez confirmed the arrest of the suspect. He said the officers were both immediately transferred to a hospital for treatment. And to some developing news in Nigeria, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have arrived in the country for their 72-hour tour to promote the Invictus Games. Now, according to the report, they both arrived today after boarding the British Airways overnight flight to Abuja, which was slightly delayed after the scheduled pilot went sick. A replacement had to be quickly arranged. On arrival in Nigeria just before 5 a.m., they were met at the airport, Abuja Nnamdi Azikiwe International, by Nigerian officials. Brigadier General Tukur Gusau said their first engagement is at midday at the defense headquarters. The visit, primarily to promote the Invictus Games, comes after Harry met the Nigerian team and General Christopher Musa at last year's competition in Dusseldorf, Germany. And now to sports. Former Super Eagles forward Sone Aluko has retired from professional football. Aluko and Premier League newly promoted club Ipswich made the announcement. The 35-year-old made just one league appearance for Ipswich this season, but featured 6 times in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. After representing England at under-16, under-17 and under-18 and under-19 levels, he switched allegiance to Nigeria and was part of the Flying Eagles squad that featured at the 2009 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Egypt. He made his full debut for the Super Eagles in 2009 in an international friendly against the Republic of Ireland, which ended in a 1-1 draw. And that wraps up the news update at this hour. Do well to follow us across all of our social platforms and also catch our live stream on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.